Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. Today, we're going to help you learn how to talk about one of the most common and personal topics in English, your family.
That's right. Whether you're introducing yourself, making small talk, or just having a friendly chat, people often ask questions like, "Do you have any siblings?" or "Tell me about your family." So it's really useful to know how to answer naturally and confidently.
Exactly. And the good news is, you don't need complicated grammar for this topic. You just need some simple and clear sentences. For example, you can start with, "There are 4 people in my family," or, "I have 1 brother and 1 sister."
Yes, and if you want to make it sound more natural, you can add a little detail. For example, "I have 1 younger brother. He's a university student," or, "My sister works as a nurse in London." Adding small details like age or job makes your English sound more complete and fluent.
That's a great tip. And you can also describe your parents easily. For example, "My father is an engineer," or, "My mother loves gardening." You can even use adjectives to make your sentences more colorful, like, "My dad is really funny," or, "My mom is kind and patient."
Yes, describing your family's personality is a great way to make your conversation more interesting. It shows emotion, not just facts. You can say things like, "My brother is talkative," "My sister is shy," or, "My grandparents are very wise." It helps people understand more about your family dynamic.
And when someone asks you about your siblings, you might hear, "Do you have any brothers or sisters?" or, "Are you an only child?" So if you don't have siblings, you can simply say, "No, I'm an only child." That's a very common phrase.
Exactly. And if you have more than one, you can say, "Yes, I have 2 brothers," or, "I have 1 older sister and 1 younger brother." Just remember that we usually say older and younger, not big or small like in some other languages.
Great point. And you can also talk about your extended family, your grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles. For example, "My grandmother lives in another city," or, "I visit my cousins every summer." These sentences are simple, but they make your English sound more complete and natural.
Yes, and when people talk about family, they often share what they do together. For example, "We like watching movies together," or, "We often have dinner as a family on weekends." These small habits are easy to describe and help your English sound warm and personal.
That's so true. Talking about family is also a great way to connect with others. You can ask questions like, "Do you have a big family?" or, "How many siblings do you have?" These are friendly questions that help start conversations easily.
Yes, and here's a small pronunciation tip. When you say family, make sure it sounds like family, not family. It's a common word, so it's good to get used to saying it naturally.
Exactly. So let's dive deeper. Let's practice some real-life examples and conversations about family that you can use in daily life.
That's so true, Nick. And that's why it's such a great topic for English learners. It's something you already know so well in your own language. You just need to find the English words to express it. Once you do, you'll find it's easy to share and connect with others.
Nice tip. And you know, Emily, I think one of the most beautiful things about this topic is that everyone's answer is unique. Some people have big families, some have small ones, some live far apart, and some live together, but everyone can talk about it in English in their own special way.
Alright, let's imagine a simple situation. You've just met someone new, maybe in an English class or while traveling, and they ask you, "Tell me about your family." How could you respond naturally?
You could say something like, "Well, my family isn't very big. There are 4 of us, my mom, my dad, my younger sister, and me." That sounds friendly and natural, right?
Exactly. And if you want to sound even more fluent, you can add a little bit of description. For example, "My mom is a teacher. She loves reading and cooking," or, "My dad works in an office, and he's really funny." These extra details make your English sound alive and not robotic.
Yes, and if you live with your family, you can say, I live with my parents and my sister. But if you live apart, you can say, my family lives in another city, or, I moved out, but I visit them often. These small changes make your English sound more natural in real conversation.
That's right. And if you have a big family, you can describe it by saying, I come from a big family. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, or, my family is very close. We always celebrate birthdays together.
Oh, that's a nice one. We always celebrate birthdays together. I like that because it gives the listener a warm image of what your family life is like.
Exactly. And when you talk about family, you can also use phrases to show emotion. For example, I'm really close to my sister, or, I miss my parents because they live far away. These sentences show feelings, not just information.
Yes, and that's an important part of communication. You don't just want to give facts, you want to connect emotionally. Saying something like, my brother and I get along really well, or, my dad and I have the same sense of humor, helps you sound more natural and expressive.
Right, and here's another great example. My grandparents live in the countryside, and I visit them every few months. You can see how that gives a nice picture of your life, and it's still made with simple words.
Exactly, and if someone tells you about their family, it's polite to respond with interest. You can say things like, that's nice, or, oh, really? How old is your sister? Or, wow, your parents sound lovely. Showing curiosity makes the conversation feel friendly and smooth.
Yes, and don't forget to use possessive forms correctly. Like, my brother's name is Tom, or, my sister's hobby is painting. It's a small detail, but it really improves your grammar and helps you sound fluent.
Definitely, and here's one more phrase that learners often forget. I take after my dad, which means you're similar to your dad in personality or looks. For example, I take after my mom, we're both talkative. It's such a natural English expression.
Oh, I love that one. You can also say, I look like my dad, or, I get my sense of humor from my mom. These are simple but expressive phrases that native speakers use all the time when talking about family.
Yes, and that's what we want, to help you speak in a way that sounds real, not like something from a textbook. Because when you talk about your family, it's a chance to share your story and connect with others.
Exactly. Family is such a human topic. Everyone relates to it. And it's also a great way to practice describing people, using adjectives, and building confidence in your speaking.
So, how about we move on to some practice sentences that our listeners can repeat? That way, they can train their speaking muscles while learning how to talk about their families naturally.
Alright, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope this helped you feel more confident talking about your family in English.
Yes, and remember, family is one of the easiest and warmest topics to start a conversation with. You don't need complicated grammar, just simple, honest sentences about the people you care about.
Exactly. Try using today's phrases when introducing yourself or chatting with friends. You can say things like, I have 2 brothers, my mom is very kind, or, I live with my grandparents. The more you use them, the more natural they'll sound.
And don't forget, you can always add your emotions and small details. Those are what make your English sound alive. A sentence like, I'm really close to my sister, shows not just information, but feeling.
Yes. So keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep connecting through English. Your words don't have to be perfect. They just have to be you.
Thank you so much for listening to British Accent Podcast. We love having you here and helping you grow every episode.
Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and be proud of your progress.
Take care, everyone, and send some love to your family today.
Bye for now.